Hey everyone, welcome to the 7 podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Sarah. And today we're doing something different.
What's that?
We're telling you a complete story, a real-life story about moving to a new city.
Oh, a story episode.
Yes, you'll learn English through storytelling.
Why learn through stories?
Because stories are how humans naturally learn. Your brain remembers stories better than grammar rules.
So we're teaching English and telling an engaging story?
Exactly. You'll learn vocabulary, past tenses, expressions, and emotions all through a real story.
Before we start, I have something to say.
What?
This story is real. It's about my actual experience moving to a new city.
You moved cities?
Yes, 5 years ago, I moved to a completely new city where I knew nobody.
That must have been scary.
Terrifying, but also exciting and life-changing.
And I'll be interrupting throughout to explain vocabulary and grammar.
So listeners learn while hearing the story?
Exactly. They get entertainment and education.
Before we start the story, let's tell our listeners what this episode covers.
We're telling Jack's complete story of moving to a new city.
From making the decision to the first year of adjustment.
Plus, we'll teach vocabulary about emotions, moving, cities, and life changes.
Now, before we start, we want to hear from you.
In the comments, tell us, have you ever moved to a new city?
Or are you planning to move?
Share your experiences.
And if you want to learn English through stories, please subscribe to the 7 podcast.
Like this video. Share it with English learners.
We're teaching you English through real, engaging stories.
Real life, real language, real learning.
So subscribe, like, and comment. Let's build a community of story-loving English learners.
All right, Jack. Ready to tell your story?
Ready. This is the story of how I moved to a new city with nothing but a suitcase and a dream.
Let's begin.
5 years ago, I was living in my hometown, the same city where I grew up, went to school, and spent my entire life.
Hometown means the city where you were born and raised.
Right. I was 28 years old, and I was stuck.
Stuck means unable to move forward or make progress.
Exactly. I had a job I didn't like. I was living with my parents to save money, and I felt like my life wasn't going anywhere.
You felt trapped.
Completely trapped. Every day was the same. Wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat.
That's depressing.
It was, and I knew something had to change. I couldn't live like this forever.
So what happened?
One night, I was scrolling through my phone and I saw a job posting. A company in a big city 3 hours away was hiring.
Job posting means job advertisement.
Yes, and this job was exactly what I wanted. It was in my field, better pay, and in a vibrant, exciting city.
Vibrant means full of energy and life.
Right. So I did something crazy. At 11 p.m., sitting in my childhood bedroom, I applied for the job.
Impulsive decision?
Impulsive means acting without thinking. Yes, I didn't think about it too much. I just did it.
Did you expect to get it?
Honestly, no. I thought, what are the chances? But I had to try.
Then what happened?
2 weeks later, I got the phone call. The phone rang while I was at my old job. I saw an unknown number and almost didn't answer.
That you did.
I did, and a woman's voice said, "Hi, this is Rebecca from TechStart Company. We received your application."
Your heart must have been racing.
Racing means beating very fast. Yes, I was so nervous I could barely speak.
What did she say?
She said, "We'd like to invite you for an interview. Can you come to our office next Tuesday?"
Next Tuesday? That soon?
That soon. I said, "Yes, absolutely," without thinking. Then I hung up and realized I had 3 weeks to travel to a city I'd never been to.
Did you panic?
I panicked. I thought, what did I just agree to?
But you went.
I went. That Tuesday, I woke up at 5 a.m., put on my best suit, and took a train to the city.
How did you feel on the train?
Terrified, but excited. Terrified means extremely scared.
Mixed emotions.
Very mixed. I kept thinking, what if I mess this up? What if I'm not good enough?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt means lack of confidence in yourself. Yes, but I also felt hopeful. Maybe this was my chance to change my life.
How was the interview?
Surprisingly good. The interviewers were kind, the office was modern and cool, and I felt like I could actually do this job.
Did they offer it on the spot?
No, they said, we'll be in touch, and I went home not knowing.
The waiting must have been awful.
Awful means terrible. It was. I couldn't sleep for days. 1 week later, the longest week of my life, I got the call.
Did they offer you the job?
They offered me the job. Rebecca said, we'd like to offer you the position. Can you start in 3 weeks?
3 weeks?
3 weeks. I said yes immediately. Then I hung up and realized I had 3 weeks to move my entire life.
Did you tell your family?
I had to. I went downstairs and found my parents watching TV. I said, I need to tell you something.
How did they react?
My mom looked worried immediately. She said, what's wrong?
She thought something bad happened.
Yes. So I said, nothing's wrong. Actually, I got a job in the city. I'm moving.
Silence?
Complete silence. My dad turned off the TV. They just stared at me.
Were they angry?
Not angry, shocked. Shocked means very surprised. Finally, my mom said, when?
What did you say?
3 weeks. My mom started crying.
Oh no.
She wasn't crying because she was angry. She was crying because her son was leaving home, really leaving for the first time ever.
That's emotional.
Very emotional. My dad hugged me and said, I'm proud of you, but we'll miss you.
That must have made you cry too.
I did cry. We all cried. It was bittersweet.
Bittersweet means both happy and sad at the same time.
The next 3 weeks were chaos. Chaos means complete disorder and confusion.
What did you have to do?
Everything. Find an apartment, pack my belongings, quit my job, say goodbye to everyone.
Where did you start?
Finding an apartment. I spent hours online looking at listings. Listings means properties for rent or sale.
Did you find anything?
I found a small studio apartment. Studio apartment means one room that's bedroom, living room, and kitchen combined.
You didn't see it in person?
No, I saw photos online and paid the deposit without visiting. It was risky.
Risky means involving danger or risk.
Very risky. But I had no choice. I couldn't travel back and forth.
What about quitting your job?
I gave my 2 weeks notice. 2 weeks notice means telling your employer you're leaving in 2 weeks.
How did your boss react?
He was surprised but supportive. Supportive means encouraging and helpful. He said, good luck, you're brave.
Were you brave?
I didn't feel brave. I was terrified, but I was doing it anyway.
What about packing?
I realized I owned too much stuff. I had to decide, what do I really need?
What did you keep?
Clothes, laptop, some books, personal items. Everything else stayed at my parents' house.
Everything fit in 2 suitcases?
2 suitcases. My entire life in 2 suitcases. That must have felt weird. Weird means strange or unusual. It did, but also liberating.
Liberating means freeing.
The night before I left, my friends threw me a goodbye party.
That was nice of them.
It was. We went to our favorite bar, the place we'd hung out for years.
Hung out means spent casual time together.
Right. We drank, laughed, reminisced about old times. Reminisced means talked about past memories.
Was it sad?
Extremely sad. My best friend gave a toast. Toast means a short speech while raising a drink.
What did he say?
He said, Jack is leaving us. We're sad, but we're also proud. He's chasing his dreams. Here's to Jack. May the city be good to him.
That's beautiful.
Everyone raised their glasses and cheered, but I could see tears in some eyes.
Including yours?
Including mine. I thought, what am I doing? These are my people. How can I leave them?
Did you doubt your decision?
Massively. Massively means greatly or hugely, but it was too late to back out.
Back out means withdraw from a commitment.
Exactly. The next morning, my dad drove me to the train station.
Just your dad?
My mom stayed home. She said she couldn't handle saying goodbye at the station.
Too emotional?
Too emotional. My dad helped me with my suitcases. We stood on the platform waiting for the train.
Did you talk?
Not much. We just stood there. Then he said, "You're going to be fine. You're stronger than you think."
Father's wisdom.
Father's wisdom. The train arrived. We hugged. He said, "Call us when you get there."
Did you cry?
I tried not to. I got on the train, found my seat, and watched my dad getting smaller and smaller as the train pulled away.
That's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking means extremely sad. It was. I sat there thinking, I'm really doing this. There's no going back now. 3 hours later, the train pulled into the central station of my new city.
How did you feel?
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means overcome with emotion or a sensation.
What did you see?
The station was huge. Thousands of people rushing everywhere. Everyone seemed to know where they were going except me.
Culture shock?
Culture shock means confusion from experiencing a different culture or environment. Yes, my hometown had 50,000 people. This city had millions.
What did you do first?
I took a taxi to my new apartment. I gave the driver the address, and he drove through streets I'd never seen.
What did the city look like?
Tall buildings, busy streets, shops everywhere, people of all kinds. It was exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Did you find your apartment?
We found the building. The driver helped me with my suitcases. I stood in front of this old apartment building thinking, this is home now. Did you go inside? I walked up to the 3rd floor, no elevator. I unlocked the door to apartment 3B, and I saw my new home for the first time.
Was it nice?
It was small. Tiny, actually. 1 room with a bed, a desk, a kitchenette, and a bathroom.
Kitchenette means a very small kitchen.
Yes, I could touch all 4 walls from the center of the room.
Did you regret it?
For a moment, yes. I thought, what have I done? I left my comfortable home for this.
But?
But then I looked out the window. I could see the city skyline. Skyline means the outline of buildings against the sky. And I thought, this is mine, my place, my new life.
That changed your perspective.
Perspective means point of view. It did. I unpacked my suitcases, made the bed, and sat down. I was here. I really did it. The first week was the hardest week of my life.
Why?
Because I was completely alone. I knew nobody. I had no friends, no family, no support system.
Support system means people who help and encourage you.
Right. My first day of work, I was so nervous I almost threw up.
Threw up means vomited.
Yes, I arrived early, met my new colleagues, tried to remember everyone's names.
Colleagues means coworkers.
Yes, everyone was friendly, but I felt like an outsider. Outsider means someone not part of the group. Did work go okay? Work was fine, but after work, that's when the loneliness hit.
What did you do after work?
I went home to my empty apartment. I made dinner for one. I ate alone. I watched TV alone.
No one to talk to?
Nobody. I called my parents every night. My mom would ask, "Are you eating? Are you okay? Do you need anything?"
She was worried.
Very worried. I'd tell her I was fine, but honestly, I was miserable.
Miserable means very unhappy.
Exactly. I'd lie in bed at night thinking, did I make a huge mistake? Should I just go home?
Homesickness?
Severe homesickness. I missed my family, my friends, my familiar streets.
How did you cope?
Cope means manage difficult situations. I forced myself to explore the city. I walked everywhere. I found coffee shops, parks, bookstores.
Trying to make it feel like home?
Exactly. I needed to create new routines, new favorite places. 3 weeks in, something changed. I met someone who became my first friend.
How did you meet?
At a coffee shop near my apartment. I went there every morning before work.
You became a regular?
Regular means frequent customer. Yes, and there was this guy who also came every morning.
You recognized each other?
We did. We'd nod at each other, awkward smiles, but never talked.
Why not?
I was too shy, but one morning the cafe was packed. Packed means very crowded.
No seats?
No seats. This guy looked at me and said, "Want to share a table?"
That's how it started?
That's how it started. We sat down, introduced ourselves. His name was Marcus.
Did you click?
Click means connect well with someone. We did. He asked, "New to the city?" I said, "How did you know?"
That obvious?
Apparently, he laughed and said, "You have that lost look. I had it too when I moved here 2 years ago."
He understood.
Completely. We talked for 30 minutes. He told me about the city, recommended places, gave me advice.
Did you exchange numbers?
We did. He said, "If you ever want to grab a drink or explore the city, let me know."
That must have felt amazing.
It felt like finding water in a desert. Suddenly, I wasn't completely alone anymore.
Did you hang out again?
The next weekend, we met up. He showed me around the city, introduced me to his friends, took me to cool neighborhoods I didn't know existed.
You were building a social circle.
Social circle means group of friends. Yes, slowly but surely. How was work? Work got better too. I got more comfortable with my colleagues. We started having lunch together, drinks after work.
You felt part of the team.
I did. One colleague, Lisa, became a good friend. She invited me to parties, introduced me to her friends.
Your network was growing.
Network means group of connections. It was. Every week, I knew more people.
What about your apartment?
I made it cozy. Cozy means comfortable and warm. I bought plants, put up photos, decorated.
It started feeling like home.
It did. I established routines. Morning coffee at the same cafe, evening walks in the park, weekend brunches with friends.
Routines means regular activities.
Yes, these routines made me feel grounded. Grounded means stable and secure.
Did you still miss home?
Sometimes, I called my parents weekly, but the homesickness faded.
Faded means gradually disappeared.
Exactly. I started thinking of this city as home.
That's a big shift.
Huge shift. I remember the moment I realized. I was walking to work one morning, and I thought, I love this city. I'm happy here.
That's when you knew you'd made it?
Made it means succeeded. Yes, I'd successfully moved my life. 1 year after moving, I sat in that same coffee shop where I met Marcus.
Full circle?
Full circle means returning to where you started. Yes, I thought about how much had changed.
What had changed?
Everything. I had a job I loved, friends I cared about, a city that felt like home.
How did you feel?
Proud. I was proud of myself for taking the risk.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely worth it. Was it hard? The hardest thing I've ever done, but it shaped me.
Shaped means formed or influenced.
Yes, it taught me I was stronger than I thought. I could handle being alone. I could build a life from scratch.
From scratch means from nothing, from the beginning.
Right. Those first lonely nights, they taught me independence.
The uncertainty?
It taught me courage. Courage means bravery.
The challenges?
They taught me resilience. Resilience means ability to recover from difficulties.
Do you regret anything?
Not calling my parents more in the beginning. They worried so much.
Did you tell them you were struggling?
Not at first. I didn't want them to worry, but I should have been honest.
What would you tell someone considering moving to a new city?
I'd tell them, do it. It'll be scary. You'll be lonely at first. You'll doubt yourself, but push through.
Push through means continue despite difficulties.
Yes, the growth is on the other side of the fear.
Beautiful advice. Let's review the vocabulary we learned from Jack's story.
Great idea. Let's go through the key words.
Stuck, unable to move forward.
I felt stuck in my hometown.
Vibrant, full of energy and life.
The city was vibrant and exciting.
Terrified, extremely scared.
I was terrified on the train.
Bittersweet, both happy and sad.
Saying goodbye was bittersweet.
Overwhelmed, overcome with emotion.
I felt overwhelmed arriving in the city.
Homesickness, sadness from missing home.
I experienced severe homesickness.
Click, connect well with someone.
Marcus and I clicked immediately.
Resilience, ability to recover from difficulties.
Moving taught me resilience.
All powerful vocabulary for describing life changes. Jack, looking back now, 5 years later, how do you feel about that decision?
It was the best decision I ever made.
No regrets?
None. That move changed my life trajectory. Trajectory means path or direction.
How?
It gave me confidence. It showed me I could reinvent myself. Reinvent means transform or remake.
What about the people you left behind?
We stayed in touch. Real friendships survive distance. And I visit home regularly.
Do your parents understand now?
They do. They're proud. They see I'm happy, and that's what matters to them.
What's your life like now?
I'm still in that city. I got promoted. I have a bigger apartment. I'm dating someone wonderful. I have a full life.
None of that would have happened if you stayed?
Probably not. I needed to take the leap.
Take the leap means take a risk.
Yes, and I'm so glad I did.
All right, everyone, that's Jack's story of moving to a new city.
A real story of fear, courage, loneliness, and growth.
If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the 7 podcast.
Like this video, share it with people considering big life changes.
Comment below. Have you moved to a new city?
Or are you thinking about it?
Remember, growth happens outside your comfort zone.
Change is scary, but staying stuck is scarier.
In English, we say, fortune favors the bold.
Meaning good things come to those who take risks.
So if you're thinking about making a big change, do it.
Thanks for listening to my story, everyone.
We'll see you in the next episode of the 7 podcast.
Until then, be brave.
Take chances. Build the life you want.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.